Hello my friends. So it was requested of me by that person that I do a Vice palette review. I know there are a million of them out there, so I'm going to keep it quick and just kind of tell you about all of the colors that are in the palette and what I thought of them. So let's go ahead and just get started. The first color is called Desperation. I like Desperation. It's very pigmented. It's really nice for outer corner to darken a little bit, and if you're darker skinned, a nice crease color. It's very smooth and creamy like Desperation. Muse is the next one going across, and that is my actual favorite eyeshadow of the moment. It is a shimmer eyeshadow. It doesn't have big chunks of glitter, which I like, and it is fabulous for outer corner and blending up into the crease. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. That's my favorite. Jagged is, I think, the big bust of this palette. I found that it works a little bit better wet, but if you don't wet it, it's just chunky and horrible. I don't know what they're thinking, people at Urban Decay, because they know they have this high quality product. I don't know how this even ends up in a palette. Like, how does that even happen? Like, it's chunky and gross, and I just haven't seen a single person on a Vice palette review like Jagged. It is a horrible color. The next one going over is called Blitz. Blitz is beautiful. It's like a yellow metallic. Like, it's hard to describe. It's not a gold. It's like a yellow metallic. Very strange, unique color, but beautiful. Like, I like it on me, but I think it would even be more beautiful on someone with like a dark tan kind of color, or like a brown skin. It would just be absolutely beautiful. And it's so blendable, so blendable. Like, when you blend it, it doesn't go away. It like stays there, but it blends so easily and nicely. I love Blitz. Now, Penny Lane I thought was going to be a lot like Blitz, and it kind of is, but it just doesn't blend quite as well as Blitz. It is a really pretty color, and I do like it. It's just not my favorite. Going down to the second line is Junkie. I like Junkie a lot. It's very, very pigmented, but I do like it. I would never put Junkie all over my lid. It's too much. What I'll do is I'll put a light color on the inner 2/3, and then on the outside I'll just kind of stamp Junkie and then kind of blend it a little bit. I got a lot of compliments on my eyeshadow for what was it, my October favorites video, and I was actually wearing Junkie on my outer corner for that video. So if you like that eyeshadow, that was Junkie mixed with Anonymous and Echo Beach, which I'll talk about later. Alright, now Chaos kind of reminds me of Blue Bus from the Book of Shadows 3, I think is which one that I have. The one that came in the purple with the butterflies and everything. In the pigmentation of it, it's really not very pigmented. It's not that scary. I don't use Chaos very often because I'm not a big blue eyeshadow person. They really have to have a very unique quality for me to enjoy a blue eyeshadow. Okay, the next one is Occupy, and Occupy is very deceiving. It looks like it's going to be very dark, and it's not. It shears out very quickly. I don't know how much I'm going to use Occupy on its own. Unhinged is like a teal. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a little bit like on my lash line, and then I'll put like a black gel liner over top, so I just get that tiny punch of teal. So Unhinged is really, really pretty if you can work it the right way. Black Market is just a typical black. Really nice to just add in the outer corner. It's like any other black. It might be a tad bit lighter than the other blacks that I have, but for the most part it's a black. Alright, going to the next line, I have a love-hate relationship with Provocateur because I want to love Provocateur. The glitter has so much fallout from it that it's really hard to work with. I did wear it in that Getting Unready With Me video. If you haven't seen that, it's pretty fun. I did my makeup and then I ran the tape backwards, so it's everything coming off backward, like my hair like flips backward and stuff. It's really neat. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But Provocateur, you just have to be really careful with the fallout of it. Rapture is also very deceiving. It looks like it's a light purple, but it's actually kind of dark. I can do Rapture on the outer half of my lid because it isn't super dark. So what I'll do is I'll put a lighter color on the inner corner and inner half, and then I'll start with Rapture and I'll blend that out, and then I'll put Vice, stamp it in the very outside. And Vice is the next color, which is a deeper purple, but they really blend nicely together. So I have paired them together and they look really nice. So like a light, then Rapture, then Vice, and then a little bit of Black Market in the corner, just to smoke it out a little bit. Looks really pretty. Noise is really funny. I did not think I was going to like Noise because it is a bright, bright, bright pink. I love Noise. I love it. Woodstock is like too much for me. I can't handle Woodstock. But Noise is a little less screaming, and it blends really beautifully. I mean, it just is gorgeous to blend, and I use that in that Getting On Ready With Me video too, and I absolutely love Noise. Now, Armor is very interesting too. Armor is very deceiving. It looks like it's a very light gray, but it's actually quite dark on your lid. It doesn't have a lot of fallout, even though it is very glittery. And if I'm wearing some kind of silver, will grab Armor before I'll go for Occupy, which is more of a bluish silverish color. Nevermind and Echo Beach in the palette look totally the same. I mean, you can't even hardly tell. I guess Nevermind looks a little tiny bit darker, but they pretty much look the same, but they look totally different swatched. Neither one are all over lid colors for me. Latina skin would look beautiful. Like I was saying with Rapture and Vice, you could do the same thing with Nevermind and Echo Beach. So you would do a light color in the corner, and then Echo Beach in the middle, and then Nevermind on the outside. And then smoke it out a little bit, maybe with Muse on the outside to kind of give you that natural brown smoky look. Would be gorgeous. Both of those colors are very, very creamy, very, very blendable. Another one of my favorites in this is Anonymous, and the only reason why it's one of my favorites is because it's just so versatile. It's a typical brow bone color. My only complaint about Anonymous is it does flake easily in the palette. I don't know if you can see that, but I've kind of scraped it a little bit. It's very sensitive shadow. Can't put a lot of pressure on it. It scratches very easily. But it's very pretty. It's very usable. It's matte, and but it's not anything that you probably don't already have if you have a lot of eyeshadow. Freebird is another one I don't really like a whole lot because it's not very blendable. It's a little bit on the chalky side, and it just doesn't transfer well to the lid. It at least on my skin tone, because I am lighter skinned, it seems to go on and then it just seems to come right off. And maybe it's just operator error, but I can't get Freebird to work for me no matter how hard I try. It just doesn't show up on my lid. It's strange. Maybe it's just because it's too close to my skin tone. It would work better for somebody else, but for me, Freebird does not work for me. Last one is Laced. It's typical. It's very creamy. It's very blendable. I really like it, but I don't reach for it a lot just because I have an addiction to shimmers right now. I just got a Meat Matte eyeshadow in my Ipsy bag, and I need to try to pair Laced and my new Meat Matte eyeshadow and see how they work together, because I bet they'd be beautiful together. It does come with a brush. It's just the typical fluffy brush on this side, and I use that for blending. And this brush, it's just not a brush that I don't know, it's just, it's stiff, and it's a little too stiff for me. I don't know. I like other brushes that I have that are similar to this better for putting color on. It does have a really, really nice mirror. I didn't mention that. And the palette is not, for what you get in it, it is a good size. It's not overly obnoxiously big. One thing I love about this is the button on the front. You can just push it and voila, it opens up. And I just think that's really neat, you know. It does have like a soft rubbery kind of feel on the outside, and it's got the crystal, plastic crystal-y UD on the front. Yeah, overall, I absolutely love my Vice palette. I don't think I like it as much as my Naked 2 palette, but I reach for it just as often, if that makes any sense, because there are colors in here that I like to use depending on what I'm wearing. I will find the colors I need in here, and I love that it's got a nice mix of neutral, natural shades and then bright colors, so you can kind of pick and choose based on whatever it is you're wearing and just reach for the one palette. So if you want some high-end eyeshadows that are good eyeshadows, I would recommend getting the Vice palette. It is a little bit on the expensive side. I think it's $59, but if you think about that, you're getting 20 eyeshadows. They're of course smaller than full size, but I mean, who hits pan on eyeshadows anyway? And if you hit pan, you can buy one of the singles. If you don't want to use bright colors, then I would recommend one of the Naked palettes instead. That is my opinion on the Vice palette. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that it was helpful for you. And if you like this video, make sure you hit like. If you like watching me, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, please. And then you will get to see more videos like this one. It's a little after 10. I think I'm done making videos for the night. This is my third one for the night, so I think I'm done for the evening. And I will see you soon.